So, how do you increase your engagement online? Great question. That's what we're going to talk about today on our Wednesday morning lives, where we come to you at 10 o'clock every Wednesday morning to discuss social media tips, tricks, and trends. And this week, we're going to talk about the best ways to engage your community beyond just responding to your comments. So, let's get the basics out of the way first. You have to know your target audience so that you can identify the right platform where you need to be spending your time. It is critically important that you know your target audience so that you are on the right platform. If you're selling skateboards, you got to be on Instagram. If you're selling Medicare, you have to be on Facebook. It changes based on your audience and where they are and how they receive their information. So, knowing your audience always comes first. Then you have to be able to post consistently because every single platform rewards consistent posting. You need to sometimes actually ask for the engagement. It is totally okay to say, hey, go follow me on YouTube. Go follow me on Instagram. We have some great free stuff on YouTube. If you haven't seen it or checked it out, go follow us over there and make sure you get notified when it's time for new information. It's okay. Now, you're not going to want to do it all the time. I would say 20% of the time. So for every 10 posts, you might do it one time. So once every 2 weeks. I think it's okay to announce who you are at the end of every video. Don't forget to like, share, or follow in order to stay on our, the receiving end or stay on the algorithm for us. Totally okay. You don't want to cram it down anybody's throats because salesy will kill you, but it's okay to ask once in a while. Build your community, continue to talk to people who you serve so you can generate that community and grow that community online. And of course, also don't be afraid to cross promote on different platforms. Resharing is not going to get it done in 2023. You cannot put the same thing on Instagram and push it to Facebook and expect to get great engagement because that is not going to happen. Different audiences, different messaging, different caption all day, every day. It's okay to share something from Instagram that you've shared before. Just don't do it on the same day. Don't do it on the same time. Don't do it with the same caption. Okay? Okay. Now, let's get into how to actually, now that you know kind of the foundational elements of engagement and building that community, let's talk about how to post better to increase your engagement. There are certain types of posts that really inspire people to react more than others. So we want to talk about what can get people to comment, to share, to like. First, and it's a short list. There's about 10 things on here, but let's just jump in. Number one, ask a question. Ask their opinion. Most people are eager to share their opinion with you. They love to share their opinion with you. Ask them what they think. Stories have polls and questions. That's one of the best places to get very active engagement. It is because of the audience that's on Instagram, they are much more likely to respond there and comment there. So stories is great. Great. Polls also can be very effective. Every single platform has its own version of polls. You have to take advantage of it where you can. And there are, that would be a really cool handout for our university, is a list of engaging questions based on your industry. So you're not just going to say, hey, do you want to buy this thing I'm going to sell you? It needs to be much more nuanced, and you want to actually, again, build that community. So you're going to talk to your end user. So if you're a wedding vendor, you might ask about what they think about the new color for 2023. You might also ask about, do you think it's okay for the bride to demand that each of the bridesmaids contribute a certain amount of money for the honeymoon or for the bridal events? Ask a specific question so you can get an answer. And once people start engaging with you, they're going to see your information more. Number two, user-generated content. And this is where I see a lot of big brands actually failing. A great example, let's just call them out. A great example of this would be, let's say, a car manufacturer that we shall not name by name. You cannot continue, especially on Instagram and Facebook where video rules. You can't. Instagram and TikTok, excuse me. You cannot continue to post these polished graphic ads and expect people to engage. It's not going to happen. Nobody cares what your truck looks like unless they're looking for a truck. So you need to get a little bit more inventive and more creative. ask your users to generate content. Have a contest where they generate content. Have a contest where they talk about their favorite feature on their vehicle. Have a contest where they talk about how long they've had their vehicle, or if it's generational. You can get some incredible information. Great. And seriously, the testimonial part's built in when you ask for people to talk about the best feature. You do want to be careful about how you phrase it, because you don't want it to, you don't want backlash. And there are certain organizations, like Burger King had a massive mishit doing this a few years ago. So you want to make sure that the question is phrased well and that you're asking the right question. But users, especially younger millennials and Zs, are much more likely to engage with you if they see their content there. So when you're reposting user-generated content, it's much more likely to get a like, a share, a comment. That's just how it works. So don't ignore your user-generated. Check those notifications. See what different customers are tagging you in their posts so that you can share that information and pull them into your marketing. Relatable and funny always, just about almost always work. People like funny. People will share funny and horrifying first. If they see something they completely disagree with or they think is ridiculous, they will share it. If they think it's really funny, they will share it. Think about the stuff you send to your friends and family. Is it funny? Probably so. If you're not funny, that's okay. Find a team that's funny and get them to be funny on your behalf, because funny works and relatable works. Number 4, giveaways. Giveaways can be a super effective way to not only grow your audience and drive your community, but get some great feedback so that people, because you want to find out what they want to win, but it is a great way to get feedback and grow that community. Now, if you're going to do a giveaway or a contest, couple of things to bear in mind. The prize itself needs to make sense. You would not give away, if you sell cookies, you wouldn't give away a chair. It needs to make sense. So make it make sense. If you give away a cookie, and seriously, people will slap their mama for a $5 ice cream cone. You don't have to give away a year's supply in order to be effective. As a matter of fact, we have worked with retail food vendors in the past where we have had a much more effective engagement and grown more giving away an item that's $20 or less than giving away a year's supply. Because when people see a giant prize like that, a lot of times they just assume they can't win, so they don't participate. But hey, I could win a $5 ice cream cone. That makes total sense. I'm going to try. Now, for us, it would make sense for us to give away a consultation or an audit, or it would make sense for us to give away an Apple Card so you can buy apps, because apps rule the world in what we do. That makes sense. A one-on-one where we talk to you about how to best edit your TikTok video. That makes sense for us. Would I give away a hand-painted picture of our office? No, because nobody wants to win that. You need to be tuned into your audience and what they want to win, and it needs to make sense and not be too big. You also don't want to run it for too long. And this is one of the biggest mistakes I see businesses make. They want to announce it on the 1st and run it through 2 months. Absolutely not. The shelf life on promotions is minute. You're talking about 7 to 14 days. If you have a 30-day contest, most people, they just won't tune in that long. A lot of people won't tune in for 14 days. It has to be short enough to where you create that sense of urgency and people want to participate, and long enough for people to get on board. Very simple. 7 to 14 days, ideal on any platform. And you always want to follow the rules on the platform. I saw this by a client that we have worked with before that just put up a Facebook contest. It broke every single rule. Okay, yes, there are people who do it. Yes, there are people who get away with it. However, if it violates Facebook content, they have the right not only to shut it down, but they have the right to delete your page. You agreed to that when you signed up for Facebook. So do you want to be the one that gets their page deleted? Do you want your page deleted? No, it's like speeding. Are you going to get caught? Maybe. If you get caught, could you get in big trouble? Sure. But everybody else is doing it. Same concept. I'm not going to be the person who risks the 10,000 or 15,000 followers that have been cultivated over years just so I can break one rule on one contest to grow by another 5%. I'm not doing it. So make sure you're following the rules. And Facebook has the most stringent rules. So that's where you really need to pay the most attention. Instagram is much more lax. All the rest of them are much more lax, but Facebook, they'll come for you. Behind the scenes images, you have to put a face on your brand. It is very normal for business owners, especially small business owners, they keep taking pictures or they keep taking information of their product. Sometimes they'll even do the location, but the really successful ones show you how the donuts are made. It shows you behind the scenes. It shows you, and we've done this before where when we're recording video, it's fun here. And using video that shows that we're recording video, that's perfect behind the scenes. That's the kind of stuff people really want to see. The next thing, teaming up with a friend or a sponsor. It's great to do highlights. It is great to share content from other friendly vendors or from people you work with as sponsors. And you might also consider micro influencers. I'm not talking about a Kardashian. I'm talking about an influencer that has between 10,000 and 100,000 followers, real followers, not purchased followers, not bought followers, but a real honest to goodness community. Those people can move mountains because their community is super committed to them. And when they don't often they don't often promote or sponsor. So people pay attention when they do. That's the kind of influencer, micro influencer you want to work with. The people who are active, who have a great community and don't have so many followers and so many sponsorships that yours is one of many. Visuals like infographics or a carousel are super effective. People have really gotten away from that in today because of video, but carousel graphics still do really well on Instagram. On Instagram. So do infographics really well on Instagram and Pinterest and Facebook and LinkedIn. Infographics, it's almost a guarantee to get additional engagement just on an infographic. Now, they take forever to make, so you have to be committed. There's some great templates in Canva for infographics, but I understand you can't do an infographic every single day. It's too labor intensive and it takes a ton of time. But do them periodically, maybe one every couple of weeks. Live Q&A, go live. Most of the time, live breeds engagement. People are eager to talk. We're going to go live the last Wednesday of this month. I'm going to field live questions. I welcome your questions. You can ask me anything you want to about any platform. I'm here for it. Next week, we are interviewing an SEO expert that's going to talk about simple tips to grow your SEO for your business online. You can tune in live and ask questions live. I'm here for it. I love lives. And last, you want to analyze and repeat. You have to pay attention to what's worked in the past. If it's not working, don't keep doing it. It's perfectly okay to beta test. I'm here for it. You really do need to test to see what works and what doesn't work. However, you also want to repeat what works, but you can't know that unless you look at your statistics and analytics and look at those posts that are outranking everything else and duplicate that. Okay, that is it for me this week. You guys, if you have questions, you can always leave a comment or send a direct message on any of our platforms. You can also schedule a quick call. We have 15-minute calls available on our homepage. There's no charge. Just go log in to Calendly and make your call, schedule your call. Don't forget to tune in next Wednesday. We'll be live with an SEO expert, so you can ask your questions about your business. I know SEO can be a little overwhelming. There are still a lot of business owners that kind of treat it like voodoo. They know it's out there, but not quite sure exactly what to do with it. So we're going to simplify some of that for you next week. And until then, I am Karen Taradas with Social You, and we're here to help. Thanks.